Everyone. Um, Welcome to the introduction to the GoodWe portfolio. I will focus on the C&I section. And yeah, I will take you through the contents that we'll be focusing on in this webinar. So first off, I'll start with the company portfolio, then take you through the commercial and industrial grid-tied system, followed by the hybrid system solutions. Then we'll have a look at the GoodWe Smart Energy Management System or solutions that we offer. Then take it a notch higher by taking you through the utility scale grid-tied solution that GoodWe has. Now, to begin with, the GoodWe company portfolio. Now, GoodWe was established in 2010, back in 2010 in China. And as of this year, come November, we'll be celebrating our 15th year anniversary. So at the beginning, GoodWe first started as a PV inverter manufacturer. We developed our own. After that, we moved into the battery system. We also moved departments of the technology. So we have our own applications and monitoring system, all GoodWe developed. And with this strategy, GoodWe managed to establish a foothold in the market share, the PV industry market share. So we grew into different markets, Australian market, European market, establishing offices and headquarters in these other continents and markets. And we also grew in terms of the manufacturing basis that we have. The growth of GoodWe also marked the enlisting into the Shanghai Stock Exchange. And in that sense, GoodWe not only focused on the PV inverters and the battery, but he also established a new subsidiary for the building integrated PV panels. And that was not the end of it. And come 2024, we also established another subsidiary. So GoodWe also does manufacture heat pumps. They're called Good Heat, and they've arrived in the African market as well with a number of distributors. And on that note, the growth of GoodWe as a brand in terms of supported sales also enable GoodWe to be enlisted as a tier 1 PV inverter manufacturer come this year, 2025. So that's the GoodWe historical moments in terms of achievements over the years. Now, with the achievements comes a number of awards. This is just a brief display of the awards that we have in terms of residential hybrid inverter shipments, supplies, high efficiencies, tier 1, financial stability, quality awards for consecutive years, Red Dot Design. We also have different inverter brands that keep on winning, being top brands for 5 consecutive years. So in this sense, this is just to solidify the fact that GoodWe is a tier 1 PV inverter manufacturer, and we've been stable over the years for the past 15 years. Now, as a tier 1 PV inverter manufacturer, you do have to achieve a number of conditions. First off is bankability. So banks and other investors need to be able to get assurance that the products that they are investing in are of good quality, can last, your warranties are valid. You should be able to support your products for the number of warranty you've stated, even if it's extendable warranties. That should be a bankable feature. You should be a bankable manufacturer. Also, your sales should be of high, let me say, volumes, because your sales actually represent the product acceptance into the market and the usability and how easily it is to be installed and being monitored across the various use of life. Financial stability in terms of support staff, in terms of offering support, manufacturing the products on order basis. That establishes is one of the features that also chips in as a tier 1 PV inverter manufacturer. And transparency and data availability. You should be able to your documents, your data of your products, your offices, location, all this kind of transparency should be easily available online with just a touch of buttons. And we are also we develop our own brand as GoodWe. As you might have seen, we have our PV inverters, our batteries, accessories, like smart meters and controllers, and the likes, the monitoring portal. So this is a whole turnkey solution that GoodWe offers as its own brand. Our production capacity is also of a high value, high volumes. I'll come show you this later on in the coming slides. This also is affected by our manufacturing capacities and the production quality and the innovations that we are launching into the market. So these are the topics that actually makes a manufacturer tier one, and GoodWe has checked out all these boxes. And in this year, 2025, GoodWe got enlisted into the tier one PV inverter manufacturing by Bloomberg NEF. So talk about sales. This is our sales. As you can see, we have continuous growth in terms of sales. It's averagely continuous, and we have a very high number of support staff, over 5,000, over 1,000 of that being on the research and development, and we have over 200 spread across the globe. So with the 200, this is where we get your feedback from you, and then we push this feedback to our HQ, of which you can see that's our HQ office to your left. It's owned by GoodWe. It runs on GoodWe inverters as well as BIPV panels. Now, I mentioned on the production and the manufacturing capacity. So GoodWe is able to manufacture 35 gigawatt of inverters on demand, and we can also manufacture 5 gigawatt hour of lithium iron phosphate batteries on demand. With this kind of manufacturing capacity, GoodWe has been able to install over 100 gigawatt of system globally. So that marks our our production and manufacturing capacity, which also is inclined with the number of products that have been installed that are also of high quality and of maximum efficiency. So the product that we have look like what you're seeing in front of you. We have the inverters, residential inverters. We have heat pumps. We have building integrated panels. We have C&I grid-tied inverters. We have battery storage systems, both indoor and outdoor. We have utility inverters. We have AC, EV chargers. We have stackable batteries. We have all these solutions as a brand, starting from residential to commercial and industrial to utility, all of them being GoodWe inbuilt, or let me say in-house manufactured. Now with these projects, these products that we manufacture, you will be able to use them in a number of community setups. So in case it's for an industrial system, an industrial park, then we have a solution for that. We can also tackle the agricultural sector, the warehouses and the logistics. We have public, let me say, amenities, malls, and even a whole community in case it's a mini grid kind of setups. So all these application scenarios are achievable using the available GoodWe products. So we'll jump straight into this commercial and industrial on-grid solution that we offer. And the latest and high-performing product that we have in the market right now is called the GT series. Now, with the GT series, this is a grid-tied inverter with power ranges between 100 and 125. So we have three power ranges: 100 kilowatts, 110 kilowatt, and 125 kilowatt. The inverter comes with up to 10 MPPTs, and the MPPT is actually of high power. So you'll find a single MPPT allowing up to 42 amps of current from the panels. This ensures that you are fully compatible with the high power generating panels, whether it's bifacial, whether you're using a tracker system, no power will be clipped from your PV panels, given that MPPT is of 42 amps. Now with each MPPT, you'll get 2 ports of strings connected to each MPPT. So maximum you'll have is a 20 string inverter. The full load capacity is at 50 degrees, so you'll get your maximum generation at 50 degrees. You have the outputting overloading capacity of up 15%. We have AI-powered full circuit interrupters, just to ensure your strings are of to prevent any fire hazards on your strings. DC oversizing up to 50%. So 100 kilowatt GT will allow a maximum of 150 kilowatt peak of panels. And it's also comes with optional power line communication. If you have a C&I system that is of a very big capacity, then it makes much more sense to introduce the power line communication, in that the same AC power cable is being used to get the information from every inverter. So no need of laying out a separate data cable to you in the extremely large C&I systems. Now, GT series of high efficiencies, of high quality, and because of quality and efficiency, we also offer an optional higher kind of protection. So the type 1+2 DC SPD is also one of the optional features that you could introduce into this inverter, so that you get more performance in terms of safety from the inverter side. I mentioned the high power input current of the MPPT. You can see lately the panel sizes are increasing. We have the 182 millimeter wafer sized panels. We have the 210 millimeter wafer sized panels. Now, these are the high power panels between 550 watts to 650 watts, 700 watts, those kind of panels. These panels are compatible with the GT series without clipping. So you can either do one per MPPT or even two strings per MPPT, and you don't experience the clipping from the DC side of the inverter. And given that our product is IP66, the GT series IP66, then you have the capability of installing the inverter outdoor. Even if you're installing the inverter outdoor, the inverter itself is of high, very efficient cooling technology. This allows you to operate at additional generating capacity. For example, if your temperatures are below 45 degrees, then yeah, you have additional, let me say, overloading capacity. If your temperature is below 40 degrees, then you have even more than 10% additional generation from your inverter. When I say 10% additional, is that, let's say you've installed a 100 kilowatt GT, temperatures below 40, then your 100 kilowatt will be outputting 110 kilowatts, so 10% extra. We give you the option wide operating temperatures in the cold, whether it's in a cold season, even it's in the hot seasons, the summer seasons, your generating capacity should not be impacted. Now, with the outdoor features comes a number of benefits. For example, protection from rain, humidity, and if you're installing in a very saline area that's humid, then you have the option of increasing your protection level to corrosion 5, C5 protection level. And yeah, you also have the option of including the ARC circuit interrupter version 3, which is actually AI operated. It lands on the ARCs and the surges. So it's really much checks and predicts on what kind of surges are happening in your system. So there's predictability in our AI algorithm. Many MPPTs. So if you're doing different orientations in terms of ground mounts or different roof orientations, the MPPT should give you leeway in terms of experiencing higher generations per day. Now, if you're doing, you're focusing on reducing your cost of investments, then the GT series is what you need to install. For example, our GT is able to handle up to 300 square mm size of cable, and the input side, that is. And our terminals can offer terminations for both copper and aluminum alloy. So you can do up to 125 per terminal. And yeah, in case you can also introduce the bimetallic lugs and the likes, and then yeah, you will be able to connect aluminum to the terminals of the inverter. So if it's copper, we can do up to 95. If it's aluminum cable, we can do up to 120. And that's the sizing that you can handle to reduce your level of investment. And we've had a number of, let me say, EPCs using different monitoring, let me say, third-party monitoring systems. But the meaning of third party is that EPCs would like to use a single monitoring system, even if they're doing different inverters. So with GoodWe, our monitoring portal, which is called SEMS, can be integrated through API to your third-party monitoring systems. So even though you're monitoring using your own monitoring system, our inverters can still connect to our monitoring system, and the data on both portals will be identical. So we can troubleshoot using our system. You can also see troubleshooting and monitoring using your own monitoring system. So that is the API integration. Then we have compatibility with third parties. So one of the third parties that GoodWe is compatible with are weather stations. So as long as your weather station is it's a smart weather station, that is Modbus RTU communicating. We have a number of compatible, so we can sense the wind speed, irradiance, temperature. All these weather conditions can be uploaded or communicated to a controller, which is the EZ Logger 3000C. And in your monitoring portal, you'll be able to get all this data that are impacting your weather. And from the weather, impacting your system. And from the weather, you'll be able to know the performance ratio of or the performance of your plant remotely. Apart from being compatible with the weather stations, we're also compatible with third-party smart meters. So we have a number of compatible third-party smart meters, like Acrel, the smart meter. We have Schneider, we have Janitza. We have a number of third-party smart meters. So if you're interested, we'll be sharing the manual of our systems, and you'll see which smart meters we are actually compatible with. And with our controller, as you can see, you can do a very large C&I. So we have 3 available ports for connecting the inverters. So we can do a maximum of 20 units of inverters per port. So if you do that for 3 ports, you'll have 60 inverters. Now, 60 inverters, that's also around almost over 6 megawatt of systems installed in the C&I. And these different ports also allows you to mix the inverter brands. So you can do the GT series on one, you can do the SDT generation 3 on the other port. So you have leeway in which and how you can comfortably mix the inverter capacities and the inverter brands, which are strictly GoodWe. We also have GoodWe also focuses on developing or availing the SCADA systems. So our controller, which is the EZ Logger 3000C, can be installed as a slave to a SCADA system. So through the Modbus communication system, Modbus TCP, that is the local area network or the Ethernet, the GoodWe controller can wait for commands from a third-party SCADA system, and then you could monitor using your own monitoring display system, and ensure that your system is working appropriately. And in this sense, the GoodWe controller also communicates the status of the inverter and the generation per efficiency to your SCADA solutions. The efficiency, let me say, the generation capacity of your system is also impacted by how safe your system is. Now with GoodWe, in areas that are not that frequent with lightning strikes, then the type 2 is okay. If you're installing your inverter in a lightning prone area, then we have the type 1+2, which is optional. And with this, you can get your alerts on the status of your surge protection device using our inbuilt, let me say, our in-house softwares like the SolarGo, the SEMS Web, and the SEMS Plus applications. So with this, you could get alerts on the status of your SPDs, and makes it easier for operation and maintenance. Then we do have the full circuit interruptions. As you can see, this is a standard feature that's required in different continents like Europe and the rest in the USA. What a full circuit interrupter entails is the reduction of fire hazards from your PV panels. With GoodWe, there is an international standard that is required when you're developing this AFCI. And GoodWe protection level is even more sensitive, fast responding to prevent any growth or increase of surge in your PV system. You can see the level required is for 2 seconds up to 2.5 seconds, but with GoodWe, you can do less than 500 millisecond response or trip time. And we can sense your arcs before it develops or grows larger than 300 joules. We can also sense arcs that are even 200 meters away from the inverter. So all this AFCI, it's AI operated, and it's very much accurate, and it also learns your system. Another protection feature that we have is the PID recovery, which basically is for installations or systems that are done in very hot and humid areas. Reason being, your PV panels will be degrading much more faster if you're installing in such an area. So with the PID, the inverter is capable of restoring the generation capacity of your panels by doing it overnight, and restoring the generation of your panels to the way it was before. Now, I would like to introduce you to the commercial and industrial hybrid solution that we also offer, which to begin with, we have the 50 kilowatt hybrid system. The 50 kilowatt three-phase hybrid inverter, we usually couple it to the STS, which is a static transfer switch. And with that combination, you'll be having less than 10 millisecond UPS level switching. That is seamless switching. Your loads that are critical will not sense any power outages from the grid side. We also have a strong overloading capacity. So for our 50 kilowatt, we have up to 75 kilowatt surge support. And we are compatible with heavy loads, compatible with diesel generators. You'll see later on how the STS looks like. And the inverter is also compatible with the big power generating panels. 182 or the 210 millimeter wafer size panels can still be connected to this inverter, and you don't experience clipping losses. So this is how the 50 kilowatt hybrid inverter looks like. We have the strings, we have the communication ports, we have the battery ports, we have the communication to the STS, to the smart meter, and you also have the AC output of the generation of the inverter. So that's how the 50 kilowatt hybrid looks like. And the 50 kilowatt hybrid needs to be connected to this static transfer switch. You can see the port number 1 is the inverter AC. So the inverter power will be connected here. Then we have other ports. We have the backup port, which is for the critical loads. We have the generator port, which you can connect a generator to. We have the grid port, in which you can connect the incoming grid line. So if you're doing installation with the 50 kilowatt hybrid, these are some of the scenarios that you can use. So the 50, with the first scenario, in case you have a diesel generator, and then in case the system is off-grid and the battery is low, then the inverter can send a start signal to your generator. So that's the first option. In case you don't have a diesel generator, but you do have a very big load, then the same diesel generator port can be configured, customizably configured to be a big load and output to a load. So this big load can then be automatically be switched off depending on various conditions, so that you prioritize your charge or the battery state of charge level to the very critically required loads. So these are the two scenarios for the 50 kilowatt. And in case you're doing more than 50 kilowatt, then that is also possible. We have an option of doing up to 4 pieces using a special communication dongle called the EasyLink 3000. That will be the scenario 1. As you can see, we can share the loads on both the grid side and the critical side, so we can parallel. Then in case you're doing more than 4 pieces of the 50 kilowatt, then it is possible. You can do a maximum of up to 10 pieces, and you'll be needing the GoodWe control box called the SEC 3000C. And you'll be achieving up to 500 kilowatt of AC. And on the battery side, you can do up to 4 megawatt hour, depending on which battery you're choosing. Now, apart from the 50 kilowatt hybrid, GoodWe is also launching a 100 kilowatt hybrid inverter. So single piece hybrid 100 kilowatt inverter, you'll be able to achieve milliseconds, seamless, less than 10 milliseconds, UPS level switching, so no power interruptions, overloading capacity, still be able compatible with generators and heavy loads, and it's compatible with the high power generation panel. So this is the ET100 kilowatt. We'll have the 80 kilowatt and the 100 kilowatt. And we also have the ET50, which is the 50 kilowatt that I've just presented. Now with the battery, the hybrid inverters I've just presented, these are the batteries that are compatible. We have two versions. The indoor version, which is the BAT50 or the BAT55, and we have the outdoor version, which is the BAT112. Now, the only difference is the time, apart from the capacity levels, is the functionalities. The BAT50 is an indoor battery, so you have to put it in a constrained, monitored environment in terms of temperature, humidity, and dust, while the BAT100 is fully outdoor. So you basically can mount it outside. It has an inbuilt AC for both cooling and heating. It has dehumidifier for, and all that. So in case you're doing outdoor installation, then you'll be checking the BAT100. Both inverters have 1 year maintenance free. We can do pack level fire extinguishing using the aerosol. Flexible installation, they're low costs, portable, 100% depth of discharge, and up to 6,000 cycles of usage. So both options. Now, you can see also in the BAT100, you have an option of installing your battery on the side of the panel. Now with the BAT50, you can do 6 pieces of the battery to one inverter. So that gives you 300 kilowatt hour. With 300 kilowatt hour, if you're doing on the maximum, you'll be doing almost 3 megawatt hour if you're doing indoor batteries. And with the BAT100, you'll be doing 4 in one inverter, so you can achieve up to 4 megawatt hour, over 4 megawatt hour if you're doing the maximum 10 pieces of inverters. So those are the batteries that we have. And to take it more detailed for the outdoor battery, it has cell level protection, it has structural protection, that is IP55, and you can also optional corrosion level 5 if it's a saline and humid area. It has monitoring level of protection, monitoring the BMS, it's AI-driven, real-time battery health tracking, so the life cycle of this battery is well in tuned. Protection level is also high. We check on the charge and discharge protection. We have real-time interaction with our inverter and our monitoring systems, and other usual protection features like the short circuit, insulation monitoring, lightning protection, overcurrent protection, and the likes. In case of fire instances, then we do have pack level or even the cabinet level, and we have a pressure relief valve at the bottom. So this is a very important, let me say, key feature that we have for outdoor systems in case you want to easily deploy your commercial and industrial hybrid solution. Now, in terms of scalability, as I mentioned before, a single inverter can do 4 pieces of the BAT100. And when you scale it up, if you're doing 10 pieces, then you'll need the controller, SEC3000C. If you're doing 4 pieces of inverter, then you'll need the EasyLink 3000, which is a special dongle for paralleling your system. So this is a solution for the outdoor. Now, with these inverters installed, I'd like to take you through the smart energy management system that we are offering as GoodWe. And to begin with, one of the solutions that we offer when you're proposing when you're starting to propose your solution is the GoodWe Designer. Now, with the GoodWe Designer, this is a free access tool for GoodWe products during the design phase and the proposal phase to your end clients, because it is for free access and it's linked to your SAMS account. It offers precise and updated product information with regards to the GoodWe features. Not only the GoodWe features, because we're also integrating this portal to the PV panels. So the various panels that are being launched into the market also existing, are already included in the portal. So all you need to do is just type the name and you'll have your panel and the inverter and the battery linked so that you can design your system. It's modernized and it's very user-friendly. It allows you to do advanced plant analysis in terms of design, 3D design, in terms of cost analysis, all this. So apart from those, we have various documentation that you can get from the GoodWe designer. So you can get them in terms of PDF, in terms of Excel, in terms of AutoCAD drawings, all this coming from the GoodWe designer portal. And it also allows multiple language usage and different currencies. So just by using your location or pinning a location, automatically the language will be changing and the currency will also be changing. So that's a very smart feature that we are offering, and it's professional and produces a complete report, which is good for your sales, good for your analysis and all that. It's free of charge, available. It's an online tool. It's called the GoodWe Designer. So how it looks like, this is what you can achieve using the GoodWe Designer. Get 3D, get to automatically lay out your panels, get to choose which spacing to use, and choose orientation, and check on your insulations, and yeah, automatically filling in your panels on the roof. Not just roof, you can also do ground mounted systems. And it will give you cost analysis. It will also give you an SLD of your system. It will also choose for you, size for you, the cables on the DC and on the AC side. Also, I will allow sizing for you the breakers on the AC side automatically. So you get your 3D systems, you can share this. You can share a live link to this so that your client can see the 3D. You can set up trees for shadow analysis. You can set up obstacles on the roof also for shadow analysis, and it's very accurate. So that's the GoodWe Designer tool for project design, simulation, and analysis. Now, once you've designed and you've installed the GoodWe products, then comes the operation and maintenance. Now, with operation and maintenance, GoodWe also has its own monitoring software. It's called SEMS Plus. This is mobile-based. You also have the web-based tool. Now, with this, you can remotely configure your system. You can choose whether to stop your system, do a number of monitoring and maintenance activities with a blink of an eye or even a touch of your screen or even a button in case you're using a laptop. Easier to use. You can also choose message pushing. It's very much advanced because you can also link your SEMS Plus to the dynamic pricing in case you're doing net metering and the likes. Link it to the dynamic pricing of your grid provider, and your portal will be automatically adapt to the dynamic pricing. Whether you want to sell to the grid or buy to the grid, it automatically adjusts to that. So it's a very smart online monitoring solution called SEMS Plus. Now, apart from the C&I that I've just discussed, GoodWe also offers utility scale grid-tied solutions. So the biggest utility scale grid-tied inverters we have is called the UT series, and we have two versions, 320 kilowatt or the 350 kilowatt. Comes with PID and anti-PID recovery. It's outdoor, so IP66. You can also optional with corrosion C5 protection level. Full high power output ranges. It uses the high speed power line communication, so it's better advanced in terms of getting data from the inverters using the output of the AC power cable. So the UT series, 320 kilowatt to 350 kilowatt, a number of MPPTs, 12 to 15 kilowatt high power rating MPPTs. So you'll be connecting to high power PV panels without any clipping of generation. Now with the utility scale inverters, because the output is 800 volts, we do have the MV stations. Now we have a number of MV stations available. So in the containerized MV stations, we have the transformer itself. We also have the switch gears for both the low voltage level and the medium voltage level. Apart from that, internally, we can also include the GoodWe control systems and auxiliary transformers and the likes. So it's a very turnkey solution, easy to operate and maintain, It's compact in structure. It's convenient for shipment, and safety features are upgradable. So we have capacity sizes plus 3.5 MVA. We have 5 MVA. We have 7 MVA. And our latest and biggest transformer is the 9.1 MVA. So this is GoodWe Solutions, full GoodWe. And that's why we boast ourselves of being our own brand. So that brings us to an end of this webinar. But I've just shared on the screen my email and my phone number in case you need to reach out for more details, connect you to our local distributors if you have any business, let me say, operation that you would like to do with GoodWe, then feel free to reach out. And also feel free to drop questions in your Q&A section. So I'm not sure if we have any Q&A questions, Carol.
Hello, good morning. Caroline here from GoodWe as the marketing manager. Thank you very much, Patrick, for taking us through a review of GoodWe residential and CNI products. We do have a question from Gerald Ochieng. The question is, for how long can the ET50 sustain, for example, a maximum of 75 kilowatt load?
Okay. So with that said, we have two conditions. If grid is there, then it can sustain the 75 kilowatt continuously. If grid is not there, that is you're working off grid, then the 75 kilowatt can be sustained for a maximum of 10 seconds.
Okay. Okay, I kindly request us to add our questions in the Q&A section. If at all you're not finding it, it's at the bottom of your screen. And if you find that challenging, you can also input your question on the webinar chat box.
Okay.
Gerald, I hope the answer is okay for you. Any more questions? Kindly type in on the chat box or in the Q&A section located at the bottom of your screen. I think we'll allow for 1 minute.
So just to inform you, the products are available locally. In case you need to place an order, then feel free to reach out. We'll direct you to, it's very urgent, we can direct you to the distributor. But yeah, feel free to reach out. That's my email, that's my mobile number. Then yeah, we can link you to the sales team.
Any questions? Okay, as we wait, we kindly request you to follow us on LinkedIn. I've included our LinkedIn link on the chat box. On our LinkedIn page, we post our case studies, we post any videos that we have of our projects and also our relationship with our customers. We post any new products which we are launching and any industry news. So kindly follow us on LinkedIn to be up to date on GoodWe news. Okay, I think it seems that we do not have any additional questions. That's fine. We still remain available to answer your questions even after this webinar. I also take this opportunity to invite you for our Friday in-person workshops, which we have at GoodWe office located at 1 Padmore in Kilimani. So do feel free to reach out to me and I will include you in our local East Africa and West Africa, depending on where you are. We have our WhatsApp group where we also publish this news, and you're free to attend these workshops. Okay. All right. Also, in addition, we currently have an offer for the HT 100 kilowatt. So this is a perfect inverter for you for all the commercial and industrial solar projects which you have. We are running this offer only for 1 month. So if you have any projects which will require the HT 100, feel free to reach out to us and we'll be very willing to support you on this. Since we do not have any additional questions, thank you very much for taking time to join us in the webinar today. We have webinars every Tuesday, same time from 11 to 12 noon East Africa time. So feel free to join us in the upcoming webinar on Tuesday next week. Thank you very much, Patrick.
Yeah, thank you for joining. I'm looking forward to offline or online interaction with you. Feel free to reach out through the email, through my WhatsApp number, displayed it on the screen. And we look forward to interacting with you. We look forward to you using the GoodWe latest products that we've launched into the market and also available locally. And yeah, looking forward to helping you through your PV installations as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.